Hi YouTube, this is Darkon633 and today I'm bringing a review of the Transformers Generations Combiner Wars Deluxe Class Air Raid. Now, Air Raid finishes off the team of the Aerialbots for my reviews, and I think he looks really nice in both his robot mode and vehicle mode. They did a really nice job designing the figure. Now, I also really like how they designed the packaging. Similar to how they did with the early releases last year, since it doesn't come with the trading card, they went ahead and put back the comics. Now, this one contains issue number 14 of Transformers Robots, the Transformers Robots in Disguise, and oh wait, never mind, no, sorry, I got confused. I think if I remember correctly, this is actually issue 15 of it, which is obviously a part of the Combiner Wars. Now, what's cool also, behind the comic is a bunch of schematics of several different Transformers, like Silverbolt, Alpha Bravo, I think that's Alpha Bravo, it looks like him, and a bunch of other schematics, and I think they did a really nice job on world design. It says here, combined to form Superion, and it is part 1 of 5, which is ironic since he actually is in the second wave rather than the first wave. And shows the entire look of Air Raid in the back here, and the other figures to form Superion. And it says here, at least for how they're promoting it, he does turn into an arm. It shows his vehicle mode and transforms in 11 steps. And on the back, it's got a really nice information, including mentioning a little bit more of the IDW verse. I don't think this one mentions it, but the other ones actually mention Rung, if I remember correctly, which is actually, oh no, yeah, here. It says that pre-mission psych screening reported by Rung, Autobot spy ops, or psyops should I say, specialist. So that's cool that Rung's actually mentioned in official Hasbro product. So that's cool. Take it off to the side. And now we'll look at Air Raid himself. Now, Air Raid has a really nice design. I really like the color scheme of him, and I think he looks like actually the best Aerobot overall. At first I thought Firefly is my most favorite, but actually I think Air Raid is one it over him, so that's pretty cool. Articulation-wise, his head is on a ball joint, so allows full movement. His arms are on a ball joint, allows full movement 360 and in and out. It's got a double joint for articulation, so due to transformation, his arms can swivel. And it can bend at the elbow backwards and a little backwards just a bit, not too much, and no wrist swivels, unfortunately. His waist is have a 360 movement, so that's good. His legs are on ball joint, allows full movement in and out. And it can also swivel. It can, but it's actually really tight, so yeah, just to show that it does have a swivel there. It bend at the knee, kind of go around, but due to transformation, it kind of does get finicky and get in the way, which I see that it's not fully connected, so there. So that's pretty much all you get for articulation-wise, which is actually pretty decent. It does come with 2 weapons, repaint of Skydive's weapon in white instead of black gun. You can just plug it onto the hand and it stays on really well. Now obviously it does come with a combining port that can turn into a hand or foot, or if you want to, just a weapon. So this is actually not his weapon. If you haven't realized by now in the other review, I only did that because unfortunately the component doesn't like to hold on to Power Glide very well. But his real arm component is actually, let's see, which one is it? If I remember correctly, it's actually this one. So I'm just going to move that off to the side and put it there. Since the Superion review is going to be coming up after this, you'll see what I mean in that review. So we're going to plug it on, and there you have. And sometimes it doesn't like to stay on due to the peg. There you go. So now you have him fully armed, and that's pretty much what you get just for into weaponry. We're going to take the components out so we can go into vehicle mode. What you're going to do for vehicle mode is actually quite simple. You're going to make sure that you turn the head around, so it's got a very similar style of the other Aerialbots transformation. You're going to disconnect this and then just slide it over. So now you got the front of the jet. Now what you're going to do is open up the leg components. You're just going to plug them in like this. And then you're just going to plug them over. So there you have it fully connected, which sometimes it doesn't like to stay together, so bear with me here. I don't know why it's being a real pain today, but normally it does a lot better than that. I don't know why it's causing me issues. But anyways, you get the idea. you're going to pull down these fin pieces. Then, what you're going to do next is now take these components, you're going to slide them over down. They're just going to peg into the area here on his arm. So now you got fully there. And this component's still being a pain for some reason. Finally, okay, plugged in. It's good. Then you're going to turn these fin pieces around. And there you have Air Raid in his vehicle mode. Now, Air Raid's vehicle mode is a very nice jet design. I think they did a really nice job designing this jet, and I think it's actually my most favorite of the jet designs. Now, while the colors aren't the most, well, spread out, just because it is pretty generic, most of it is in a black color, and then it does have some yellow and silver to break the monotony, I still think it looks the best overall, and I think I really dig the design. Now, he can kind of spread his wings out if you wished, so it looks like that, but it looks kind of weird at the same time. So, you just put it together, and there you have at least the vehicle mode altogether. Now, he doesn't have a landing gear for some reason. It seems like only 1 or 2 have the landing gear, but for some reason Air Raid does not sport a landing gear, so it is a bit weird that not all the Aerialbots have a landing gear, but whatever. What you can do, just like you did with Skydive, you can also plug in the weapon up here, or if you wished, just to plug in both sides. At the bottom of wings, it does have a place where you can plug in the weapons, so now you can have them fully armed up like that. So I think it looks really nice, and I think they did a really nice job designing it. Now obviously, because it doesn't have any landing gear or any wheels of any sort at the bottom, it can't roll, but it is a plane, so you can see why. As you can see, it just slides across the table, and it doesn't have any way to roll it around. It has no wheels or anything. Technically, it does have these little pieces that can be considered landing gears, I guess, but not really, because it's not really based design over it. So that's pretty much all you get for vehicle mode, and I think it still does a really nice job. Now, I'm really impressed with Air Raid's overall design, and I think it's a really fun toy to play around with. Now, I did actually see something that I didn't know about either this mold or Skydive. For some reason, he has an extra joint on the fin that allows him to pull the fins over. I'm not quite sure what that is for, and the reason why I didn't know is because on Skydive it was rather tight. Even though it's a rubbery plastic, it didn't really want to move for me, so I didn't know about that until I got a hold of this version of the mold. So I'm not quite exactly sure what those are for, but I guess it's kind of cool that it does have an extra feature somewhere on the toy. Now, I still think Air Raid is still the best, personally to me, one of the best Aerialbots out of the entire 5 Aerialbots released so far, or 6 including Paraglide, and even 7 if you include the non-release at the moment Slingshot. But I think he still does a really nice job, and I'm really glad to finally get a hold of this. Now, I did mention in, going to mention in the Superion review that I got this along with the other pieces of Menasor from Hasbro Toy Shop. It is a bit of a bummer that they took this long to release it, but at least the wait was definitely worthwhile since they did ship it overnight to compensate, and I'm really happy to finally own a full Superion and Menasor, and I think it's definitely worthwhile to get these versions of the toys. Anyways, please comment, subscribe, check out Hero Talk and the associate podcast on Rajio Nihon, WRW Hero Talk and Hero News, and also check out the channels down below. Please comment, subscribe, and also check me out on Twitter and Darkon623, and I'll say to YouTube, bye.